Okay, I'm back. This is Lynn David Hart, and wanted to read portions of the Bible, and I wanted to make commentary on it. And so I'm going to read right now. I'm going to read the 19th Psalm. The 19th Psalm. It says, "To the overseer," and this Bible is the Robert Young's literal translation of the Bible. I guess he was around about 150 years ago or so, and this is how he translated it from the originals, whatever, to what it is here. I think I like this. I like the way it's written, and I think it goes along with the King James to a degree, but I think it's maybe a little bit more truer, even though I can't read the originals. Just the way it's laid out, the way it's written, I think it's pretty well done. Anyway, all that aside, this 19th Psalm reads, "And may God open up our eyes and give us understanding, may give us ears to hear." So it says here, it says, "To the overseer, a psalm of David. The heavens are recounting the honor of God, and the work of his hands the expanse declaring. Day to day uttereth speech, and night to night showeth knowledge. There is no speech, and there are no words. Their voice hath not been heard. Into all the earth hath their line gone forth, and to the ends of the world their sayings. For the sun he placed in a tent in them." After I get done reading this, I'm going to make commentary, and I'm going to talk about some things that the Bible talks about that kind of contradict what we hear on the news and what we're taught in schools and what Hollywood puts out, of course. But we're going to get into it a little bit deeper here. So as I continue to read, I want to talk about some different things here that might be unfamiliar to you. They might go against what you think, what you've been told, what you've been hearing from the news and the world and Hollywood since you were in the womb. But we're going to talk about these things, and I what I'm saying, or what I'm trying to teach here, or what I'm trying to relate, or however you want to say this, it's not what I think. I'm trying to show what the Bible says. So hang out and maybe learn something. If you're interested in watching the lies of Hollywood and television and the news and whatever else we hear from whatever other sources, hear the Word of God, and let's contemplate it, and chew on it mentally, and see what becomes of this. He said, he, the Son, as a bridegroom, goeth forth out of his covering, and rejoiceth as a mighty one to run a path. From the end of the heavens is his going out, and his revolution is unto their ends, and nothing is hid from his heat. With all the Lord is perfect, refreshing the soul. The testimonies of Jehovah are steadfast, making wise the simple." I only want to cover the first 8 verses, but I'll read the rest of the verses just because I want to read the 19th Psalm. The precepts of Jehovah are upright, rejoicing the heart. The command of Jehovah is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of Jehovah is clean, standing to the age. The judgments of Jehovah are true. They have been righteous together. They are more desirable than gold. Hear a lot about gold today, don't we? That's my commentary. Yea, they are more, than much fine gold, and sweeter than honey, even liquid honey of the comb. Also, thy servant is warned by them, and in keeping them is great reward. Now, don't lose me just yet. Errors, who doth understand? And from hidden ones declare me innocent. Also, from presumptuous ones keep back thy servant. Let them not rule over me. Then I am perfect, and declared innocent from much transgression. Let the sayings of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be for a pleasing thing before thee, O Jehovah, my rock and my redeemer. The first, let's just say 6 verses of this Psalm, 19th Psalm I'm reading. I believe this is teaching what it's saying, that we just read over, you know, just read over it because we're reading through the Bible. I believe it's teaching that the earth is flat. And you can like it, not like it. You can unsubscribe, do whatever you want. I really don't care. But I want, if you hear me out, listen to what it's saying. Now, I know Jesus Christ is the bridegroom. And I know he is a mighty one to run a path. And some people will say to me, oh, you're taking that literally, you're not taking it spiritually. Well, it does have a literal meaning and it does have a spiritual meaning. So let's just read it. It says, it's talking about the day to day uttereth speech, and night to night showeth knowledge. There is no speech, and there are no words. Their voice hath not been heard. Into all the earth hath their line gone forth, and to the ends of the world are their sayings. For the sun he hath placed a tent in them, and he, as a bridegroom, goeth forth out of his covering, and he rejoices as a mighty one to run a path. Now, and it says from the heavens, this is going out, and his revolution is to their ends, and nothing is hid from their heat. Now, every day we watch the sun come up, we watch the moon come up, we watch the sun go down, watch the moon come down. No one ever questions, well, how come? If you watch these two bodies, they do the same thing every day. They do the same thing every day. But yet they tell us that the earth, the sun is stationary and the earth's moving. Well, I think it's Joshua chapter 10, verse 13, it says, there was never a day like that where God made the sun stand still for a whole day. It doesn't say he stopped the earth from turning. And other verses that could be applied to this, what I'm talking about, is that God says, I shall destroy men off from the face of the earth. It doesn't say, I shall destroy men from around the world. It says the face of the earth. And if other verses that might be added to this would be the heaven for height and the earth for depth. Another verse might be as far as the east from the west. Now, I used to go to churches years ago. I since like 2003, I discontinued all churches, but I remember there was a minister in church telling me, he goes, as far as if you keep going east, you'll always be going east. Well, I got thinking about that. I thought to myself, if you're going east and the earth is as big as the heavens, then you're going to be going east for a long time. Now, if you look in the 8th chapter of Proverbs, it also talks about the uninhabitable parts, the inhabitable parts. So if there's habitable parts, there must be uninhabitable parts. So, I'm just running these things by you because the only thing is what you're told or what you've been conditioned to understand and know, that Hollywood reinforces, that the schools reinforce, that the so-called scientists reinforce, the media reinforces. All we know is what we hear. I'm just presenting to you something that I didn't make this up. I'm just reading it and I'm just saying how I understand it. So, there's uninhabitable parts. Now, you can go on certain websites and you can only see so much. Or when you're looking at a newscast or something, behind the reporters is a picture of the globe, or a globe. I'm not going to call it a globe, but you see a globe. And everywhere you go, I watch a lot of YouTube, and everybody on there, whether they're a hillbilly or they're a learned person, and I'm not saying hillbillies aren't learned. I'm saying some people have street smarts, and some people have school smarts. But and they'll say, on the planet, this is the best on the planet, or they say planet like they're saying something. In my opinion, they're taking somebody else's word for something, and they're re-spitting it out like a tape recorder. Oh, the planet, the planet, the planet, the planet. just because these scientists and stuff utter these words, it doesn't, and Hollywood backs it up, and the media backs it up, doesn't mean it's true. And I'm not coming this with my own understanding. I'm looking at the Bible and I'm reading this and I'm thinking, why does they leave this book around? Because this book is spiritually discerned. The average person, spiritual things are foolishness to the average person, the unsaved. They can't get this book, and they never can get it. They can never understand it because this is a spiritual book. It's spiritually discerned. The natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit. And, what kills me too, or what I think is funny, is the churches in general. I'm not a church guy. I'm not a member or a visitor of any church. But the churches in general, they won't buy into the million-year stuff. But they'll go with the planet. That's all you hear nowadays is planet. It's either a huge deception, or I'm reading the Bible wrong, and I'm telling you something that's not quite true. So anyway, that's just some things I wanted to talk about. But if you read Joshua chapter 10, 13, it talks about how God made the sun stand still for a day. And you can say, well, that's the Bible. You're reading the Bible. Well, yeah, I'm reading the Bible. I can't, everything I know in my life that this book says, you can't escape this book. Now, I was watching a guy on YouTube, and psychology guy, and he said, as long as he's been in the psychology business, he said, you can't get away with nothing. It'll come back and haunt you. And that's what I'm finding out with this book. We can't play with this book. So anyway, I'm Lenny Hart. That's my name. Years ago, my name was a question. I would say, Len Hart. But now my name's not a question. I know who I am. I know what I believe. I think I understand this book I'm talking about, reading from. And what better thing could I put on YouTube? I have a YouTube channel. Big deal. So I have on there construction stuff. And I have on there some Bible stuff. So that's the end of the video. Again, look at some of the verses. Read chapter. You read chapter 8 of Proverbs. Read chapter 3 of Proverbs. It talks about when God founded the earth. Now the earth too is the people of the earth, because it uses a double meaning there. And also read Job 38 verse 4, where God asked Job towards the end of Job's learning period there. He says, where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth? When I set it upon its sockets. I'm just paraphrasing. I'm just doing that the best I can here. But God says, where were you? And I say to us as individuals and myself, where were we when God laid the foundation of this earth? Where were we at? Were we there? Were the scientists there? Were the school teachers there? Was Hollywood there? Did they know what was happening before God laid the foundation? No, they don't. But this book has been preserved somehow, and it's in here. It's hidden in this book. So anyway, my name is Lenny Hart. That's the end of the video. Have a good day. Take care.